Hey guys, welcome to the new channel, Old Heads Know Stuff. I decided to call it that because I have a son that's 18, almost 19, and I'm telling him all the time, you know, old heads know stuff. So I'm always fixing something or fiddling with something, and I think he's decided that I can pretty much fix about anything. So I just decided that since I'm always working on something, I could just start putting some videos together, and maybe it'll help somebody somewhere. They can watch what I did and maybe learn to do something on their own. So we got a lot of stuff going on here in the shop. Got the Honda here. This is a 99 Civic SI. Got the stock B16A2 in it. So I had a problem with it. It chucked an axle and messed up the diff. So I pulled the tranny out to fix it, and then while I had it apart, I just bought a bunch of extra parts for it. So it's in the process of being rebuilt. The transmission's back together, and we got a bunch of parts gathered up here, but I just need to take the time to put some work in on it. So while it's apart, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a turbo on it. We'll try to do like a cheap eBay turbo type of build on it, something small like a T3, T4, you know, 60 millimeter, 50 trim, something like that. Just 8 or 10 pounds of boost, something fun. The engine's got almost 300,000 miles on it, so it's not going to take a whole lot. But if I do blow it up, then it'll be a great candidate for a K-swap. So maybe I'll get to do that on the channel eventually. We got a lot of other stuff around here. This garage is a disaster area. I apologize for that. We just got a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's kind of went by the wayside. So really dirty out here. I apologize for that. I will start cleaning it up little by little when I can. Got my Harleys here, 83 dresser, and a 56 panhead back there. So these both these bikes were my dad's. I inherited them a few years ago, so they mean a lot to me. If at some point one of them needs some work, then I'll put that on the channel as well. I just basically want to show you just all the little things I work on. I've never in my entire life paid someone to work on a car for me. I've always done everything myself. So I figured I'd share that knowledge. I also have another big project going. My wife and I bought a building back about 6 months ago. It's an old brick building here in town. So it was a restaurant actually from 1925 until 2010 when it closed down. So we bought it about 6 months ago. We are putting 2 apartments in upstairs. Like we knocked all the plaster off the brick. We're doing like exposed brick, industrial style apartments. And then we're going to reopen the restaurant downstairs. So that's exciting. But it takes up all of my time right now. So I'm there literally every day. I work quite a bit at my real job, and then I'm there a lot as well on the nights and weekends. So I will also post videos from there. I'll be tiling shower surround, I'll be tiling floors, I'll be wiring up receptacles and lights and different stuff, installing kitchen cabinets, just a little bit of everything. So you're going to be seeing a lot of different things on this channel, so just stay tuned. Like and subscribe. You can follow updates on the Honda. I've got an old golf cart back here that maybe one of these days I've been threatening to put a gas engine of some sort in it, so maybe we'll do that on the channel one of these days. My son has a car that we're going to be working on, so today we're going to pull it in and go over the car with you, show you a few of the things that we're going to be doing, and then you can follow along with us as we get those things done.
My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah. My life be like.
So this is my son Brendan. He's like 18, almost 19. This is his car. We just got this, what, a month ago, 2 months ago almost, something like that. So this is a 2004 Subaru WRX STI. in the blue, obviously. So we actually got really lucky on this car. It's super clean. Only has 49,000 miles on it when we bought it. It's in great shape. It already has the additional DEFI gauges in it and a Pepsi turbo timer, the AEM air fuel gauge, and then up here under the hood we got the AEM air filter, custom aluminum cold air intake, precision 6262 turbo. It's got the 3-inch downpipe, 3-inch all the way out again. It's got the aluminum 2.5-inch intercooler piping, turbo smart blow off valve, the vibrant vacuum hose manifold, Perrin strut bar. Got the big giant front mount intercooler. I can't remember the brand on it, but
APS 525.
APS 525. So he says APS 525 on that. So yeah, that's it. This oil separator kit is from Slow Motion in Columbus, Ohio. They put this engine in, so the previous owner had some issues and ended up losing the engine. So they got a new short block from Subaru, put forged pistons in it, and did some head work, line honed the cam bores, put it all back together, and then they tuned it there on their dyno. So it made 385 all-wheel horsepower on 93 octane. So pretty good. It's a pretty quick little car. It's a lot of fun to drive. So we just got a few little things that we need to tinker with on it. It's got an oil leak that we're going to mess with sometime. These will be on videos coming up. So we got an oil leak. We got the bumper fitment's bad, like all the clips are broken and stuff, which is probably because the intercooler's there, right? And they kept taking the bumper on and off. So we got some little quick release tabs we're going to put in there. Tonight what we're going to do is replace the thermostat on it. So I believe the thermostat's stuck open, so it builds heat, but then if he gets out running on the interstate, then he's losing all the heat back out of the engine, losing the heater and everything. So believe the thermostat's stuck open. We're in Indiana. It's been really stupid cold here this week for some reason. Polar vortex, they say. So apologize for the car being dirty. He normally keeps it pretty clean, but we got salt and garbage all over the roads right now because of the weather. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, and follow along with us as we make improvements. So as you can see, we got the car jacked up, got some jack stands under there for safety, and we went ahead and pulled the front bumper. It just made it easier to get to everything. And we got the coolant draining out now into the bucket. So we're going to go ahead and get up under here. The thermostat on this engine sits right up there above the exhaust. So you can see where the radiator hose comes in. Thermostat's going to be right inside of there. So we'll pop that off and get the new thermostat in and get it bolted back up and start refilling the coolant. Alright, so we just got a couple of bolts in here, 10mm heads. Hopefully this doesn't get coolant everywhere. It's still draining just a little bit from the radiator. I figured if we went ahead and popped it loose, that hopefully there's enough out of it that it's not going to leak all over the place. The other one's up top here somewhere. I'm just going to try to find it. Yeah, there it is. Either that's it or I'm taking something else off by mistake. We'll see. Oh, there we go. So we did have a little bit still left over here, it looks like. Maybe more than a little bit. So we have dual drainage on this particular car. Draining not only from the radiator itself, but also from the thermostat. So it's like after midnight now. I was really not planning on taking a coolant bath, and I'm going to take a shower tonight, so try to stay out of that as much as possible. Alright, there's the other bolt. So we'll try to remember that the short one went on the top and the long one went on the bottom. So there's the housing loose. You can see, oh shoot. So can you see on the camera the thermostat up in the housing there? So the thermostat just kind of sits in that housing, and then there's going to be a rubber gasket or O-ring kind of thing that goes around it. So we can just reach up and get a hold of that, pop it out. So here's our thermostat, and we can actually see the problem right here. See how the this rubber on the inside is out of place. It's stuck in between the spring and actually holding it open a little bit. So there's our problem. So we'll just, it's actually, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's actually, you can see it inside of here. See the rubber coming through. So yeah, that's definitely our problem. Bad thermostat. Trying to get this somewhere out of the way without it leaking everywhere. Maybe we can push it up. There we go. Yeah, so I was just kind of taking my fingernail and picking out. There's a little bit of the rubber gasket from the old one that's kind of stuck in here. So just kind of cleaning that up a little bit. Hopefully we get a good seal. New thermostat here in the box. The gasket. So this guy actually goes right around this lip. So there's a, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, there's a split kind of in the gasket. It goes right in this lip on the thermostat. Like so. So then we're just going to pop this guy up in the hole. This little brass thing in here, there's actually a hole drilled in this flat part of the thermostat. So the way a thermostat works is basically it stays closed and it blocks the coolant flow until some heat builds. There's a little wax pellet in there. When the heat builds, the wax pellet melts, and that frees it up and allows it to move. So it'll open up and allow the coolant to flow, and then it regulates the engine temperature based on how much it allows to flow through there, right? So if it was completely blocked, then we'd get air bubbles trapped behind it. So this little brass guy here, there's actually a little hole drilled in the plate of the thermostat, and this brass thing plugs the hole so that it'll let air escape, but it's not a big enough hole that we can actually get coolant flow through it, or not enough to make any difference. So when we put that in there, we would just want to make sure to put that towards the top, because obviously any air bubbles are going to go to the top, so that'll let them bleed out when the bleeder's on the top. I'm just going to stick that right back in the hole, like so. Get our hose back. So put that housing in place. Our long bolt went to the bottom. short bolt went in the top. A lot of this stuff, and you know, if you've worked on cars very much, you learn to feel your way around. I can't see this at all, but feel around, find the hole. And I'm just using a 1/4-inch drive ratchet. These are small bolts, so you don't need any crazy big torque on them. You snap them off. I don't know what the actual torque spec is. I mean, it's probably like not much, 10 Newton meters or something like that. But we're just gonna give them a crank with this 1/4-inch ratchet. Call it good enough. Sometimes it helps if you go click, click. That's my torque wrench. Click. Alright, that should take care of it. Alright guys, so we're back in the shop. It's the next morning. Been to town, got some peak antifreeze and some McDonald's coffee to get us going this morning. So the thermostat we got all in last night, but the oil got into the coolant that we drained, so we didn't want to reuse that, so we're just going to put some new antifreeze in. So basically just going to fill the radiator and cap it. This particular car has 2 radiator caps. There's one here on the radiator itself, and then there's this expansion tank up top here. So that one will be the one we fill last, so that we make sure we get all the air out of the system. So yeah, let's start pouring it in. I am using a full strength instead of the 50-50 premix, so I'm just going to switch back and forth between pouring coolant and water, and we'll try to roughly get it about 50-50. Got another jug here that just got straight water in it. Alright, so we got the radiator all filled up here now. I'm going to go ahead and put the cap on it. There's vent lines on it on the neck, so if we do get just a little bit of air trapped in this top tank, it'll be able to vent through the lines. So I'm just going to go ahead and cap this for now, and we'll go ahead and fill up the expansion tank, and then we'll start it up and bleed it out. Alright, that's got the expansion tank full, so I'm going to crank it up. So yeah, that's it, guys. So put the new thermostat in. We filled the coolant back up. Make sure and start it up and let it run for a little bit so that you can bleed any air that's in the system. And just make sure you got it full. So he will drive it later on today, and then we'll make sure that when it's cool to pop both radiator caps, make sure it's still full. Of course, never ever open a radiator cap when it's hot. It'll spray out and burn you, so that's no good. So yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell. And remember, old heads know stuff.